Good afternoon, this is Brian C. And I wanted to make a short video, or at least relatively short video today, about how I created my link shortener. If you look up here in my URL for this website, links2success.net is a domain that I purchased a few years ago to create my own link shortener. What I was having issues with, and you may relate to this, was if you are promoting any type of an affiliate product, the links aren't particularly pretty. And so you might want to mask those when you're using a website like Facebook. Twitter, you really need to use something more like Bitly. But you want it to look nice instead of having a long, obnoxious code. So when I'm talking about a long, obnoxious code, I'm talking about something like this. So let me just paste this in here so you can kind of see it. So something like this. This is one of my affiliate links, which is sort of ugly. Well, you don't really want to do that, because number one, it doesn't say anything, it's not very search engine friendly, and sometimes people just don't trust that. So if you're watching this video, you probably understand why you might want to use it. Now, on this particular link shortener platform that I'm going to show you, this is one I purchased, and it's one that you can certainly purchase too. It's very inexpensive. I think when I purchased the license it was around $16, and I don't think it's gone up very much. But I also heavily customized mine, so I kind of wanted to show you how these work if you're familiar, and then the advanced options. So this is how this loads as a default. And you click shorten. It's that simple, and it creates a shortened link for you. Now look at this link. All right, this isn't particularly pretty either, and it's not my favorite way of doing it either. I actually like to have something descriptive. So let's do something else. We post in that same link, we come to advanced options, and you can actually create an alias here. So let me think about what I want to do with this. This is actually an affiliate link for a product called Ditto Mobile, which creates free mobile websites. So I'm actually going to take the title for that particular campaign and post it in there. And now you can actually even put a long description here. So I'm going to put a little bit of a description, not a huge description. And this is really more for me. This isn't one that will show up. But you've got some other things here that I'm not going to really demonstrate because I don't use these this much myself. But Geotargeting, you can actually create different shortened links for different countries, for different campaigns, things like that. All right. So a lot of different things. You can even password protect it if you want it to be a private link. All right. So now when I click shorten, it's actually created this very long link here. So let's go up here and let's put it someplace where you can actually see it. Now sometimes it pauses like this, and sometimes it keeps going. So let's find a different one that we can demonstrate. This actually could be, they may have this set up to where it doesn't allow it. So for example, if I try to demonstrate this with Facebook, for example, Facebook wouldn't even show this. What Facebook would do is, it's actually called a frame buster. They would bust out the frame so that you wouldn't see this bar here at the top. So let's go over here. And this is just more of the back office. These are just various links that I've already created. So let's go over and have a look at this one so you can actually see the full power of it. Okay, here we go. All right, so here is an opt-in page. So this is actually all within a frame, but of course it's masked it. So there at the top you've got the links2success.net/bizbuilder-mastery. All right, so this is one of my campaigns that I use. As I said, I've customized this with a logo. I've also added some links here. So for example, one for visiting my blog, one for joining our team, because we are a business building team as well. And then also get this system, which will actually take you to an article that that tells you about this system, and actually this may be where you're watching this video. Alright, so I created those myself, but if a visitor doesn't want to see that anymore, they can actually hit close. They can also share it on Twitter or share it on Facebook. So those are functions all built into the system for you. So now that I've hit close, you actually can see the affiliate link now, and it gets rid of that bar. So your customers or your visitors have that option before. Now after you've created this link like I did, you can immediately share it on Facebook, you can share it on Twitter, you can even copy the QR code for this. Some people use this for their marketing. I'm currently not doing that myself, but there have been times where I have. Now let's go to this back. Now I'm assuming if you're going to actually create a website like this yourself, you're going to have access to this admin panel. This other page I was showing you here, this is a user panel. So as an admin, you can look at your user panel, or you can look at all of this through an admin panel. Now something I didn't mention earlier is, although I use the let's show this to you again. Even though I use this method, which is called the frame method, you can also use what's called a splash page method. Now I've not set this up myself here, but this is where instead of showing that banner first, it will actually show a splash page and then say, either I want to stay put. The visitors offer the option of either looking at your offer or continuing on to that particular page. So I've not set this up. This is actually a new function, but that is something that actually as an admin you set up. So when you first log in as an admin, you're going to see all of this. These are the current stats. It shows your latest users. In our case, we're actually a closed system. I set mine up as a closed system. That's what I would recommend for you, but if you're setting it up as a team link to use, you can certainly do that too. But it gives you stats for your top URLs and then your latest URLs. All right, and these are all kind of running totals. I haven't actually refreshed this page, so let's refresh this because it'll give us some different stats and update a little bit here. So you can see it gives you how many URLs, shows that I've added 2 today, 2,700 clicks, 2 of them today, and then 2 users and none added. Again, that's because we're actually closed system. So as the admin, you have a lot you can do. So right now we're actually on the dashboard. You can manage URLs. So in here, for example, if you no longer want to use a particular URL, or maybe you happen to like that slug at the end, but you want to change it to a different campaign, you can actually delete or edit these. So if I wanted to add geo tagging, I could. You can actually, at this point, you can add metadata if you'd like to. My particular setup right now is not allowing you to set a image for this. I recently, literally just yesterday, updated the software. The developer of this software, you would actually be pleasantly surprised. Although you only pay $16 for this license, he's extremely responsive. So for example, before I updated this yesterday, I was using image URLs. I merely need to email him, and he'll ask for your order number and things to make sure you're a legitimate customer. But especially if he's already figured out how to do it, usually within a couple hours he will send you the code if you're comfortable with doing that, or you can send that code to your webmaster and have them do the update. But when you do add that little patch, there's a section in here for having a custom image show up with these particular the short URL here. So you don't have to use this, but you can. All right, so again, that was under the Manage URLs. Also shows you when you added it, things like that. It says View User here. I am the user for most of these, although Pat has some in here too. So if some of these were not mine, I could have a look at his. And you've got here oldest, most popular, less popular, things like that. Managing users. This is where you can add users, you can ban users. You don't have to have a system that requires registration, but again, like I said, I would either require registration or you can manually add users as we do, simply to prevent abuse. That's the reason why I'm saying I recommend the closed system, is because if Facebook, for example, sees that a lot of things are being posted that are spam and they get enough complaints from the community, they'll actually ban that domain entirely, and you certainly don't want to do that. Now, one way to manage that is actually through settings, which we'll show here in a second. You can actually use this system with multiple domain names. I'm just currently using it with one domain name. So custom pages. Under this managing pages function, I've created a terms and conditions. I've also created a get this system. Again, this is probably why you're watching this video. And when somebody's on their main home page as a here's the banner again. So if somebody's here as a user, it will show here at the bottom. All right. It'll also show if somebody tries to go to this website without not being logged in, it'll show that too. All right, so let's go back to this admin panel again and settings, because this is really where most of the power that I really want to demonstrate today. So here's the main URL, so you have one main URL. You can actually update a site logo here. I've actually done it within, in my case, done it within CSS. That's the styling sheets, because this is actually a new field that he's added in a new function. You can add default site words and descriptions. Again, they're not required. Main admin email, Facebook page if I wanted to promote myself. Twitter page if I wanted to send people that way. And this is Geotargeting API key. So if you are going to use geotargeting, you will need to make sure that you follow the directions here, and you'll have to actually go get a key for yourself. Application settings. All right, you can take the site offline if you like to. So in my case, with my theming, which they call this the green theme, although it's mostly blue, anything that is the green or this aqua, this is what's currently the choice. All right, so I'm currently online. It's a private service. Again, this is where I was saying you can close it, so this turns off registrations. Media gateway, all right. So this will allow you to create media pages for YouTube and various media and video outlets. Geotargeting, I encourage you to enable this, but a user can actually use their own geotargeting API as well. Redirection, you have three choices. You can either do none. If you do none, it simply is going to forward it to that whatever full URL you've provided. All right, so you're not going to see this nice cute, neat little banner up here, and you're not going to see this. It literally would be as if you hit close and that URL. So it literally just forward you to that. All right. The splash page is what I was telling you before. So I'm going to set this to splash page and then hit submit. And then I'm going to go back here and I'm going to open up one of these so you can see the difference. All right, so this is the splash page. So again, I've not set up my defaults. So this is for my own personal user or the site. So this is where this comes up. So it actually shows you a preview of that link. And then you can either say I'm ready, all right, which means it's going to take you to that. Or if they're like, oh, I didn't mean to click on that, you can just say take me to your home page, and then it takes you back to here. All right, so that's that particular setting, but I happen to like, and it's taken us back here. So let's get back here. I happen to actually like the frame bar, so I'm going to save that again. Alright, so you can set a timer if you're using the auto direct feature, which is what would happen with none, and also with the splash page. You can enable a developer API if you want to allow people to shorten URLs from their specific website. So for example, I've not enabled this yet, but I will be enabling this on my own blog and on Pat's blog. And so maybe I'll show that at a different time. But mostly I really wanted to, again, show I can't believe that not more people don't use this, especially that are affiliate marketers, because it's a $16 investment. If you're using a shared hosting server like Bluehost, where you can have multiple domains anyway, it's just the cost of the domain and then the $16 to put it on the hosting and then set it up. So it's pretty amazing. And also this update notification, I have mine set to enabled. But if you'd rather, once you get it customized, just leave it alone and let it run, you can turn that off. Security settings. You can blacklist certain domains. Again, if you're using a closed system, you probably don't really need to use this. You can set up a CAPTCHA system. Again, I've got a closed system. These are all things you might want to do if you're either going to use an open system or use a team system where you have multiple users. All right. Then we have the various user settings. So again, I have registration disabled, so all these others are disabled. But again, the individual users can you can actually tie this to a Facebook app, things like that. Advanced tracking. For some reason, when I did the update, it lost my Google Analytics, so I need to put that back in there. Here's where you put the multiple domain names again. So this would be very good to use if you do a lot of backlinking, or you're letting a team use this site, because the default will set to, like in my case, the links2success.net. But if you had multiple domains, they could actually do a drop down and pick the one they'd like to use. Advertising, you have the ability to actually have advertising in 3 different areas. So again, I'm not using that. PayPal, if you're going to sell a subscription to your service, you actually can do that here. We've got maintenance tools, so you can delete inactive URLs, things like that. You can export users, optimize the database. That's a good one. Choosing the theme. Again, there's only one default theme here, but you can actually go in and edit it. So this is where you can actually go in and select the various style sheets. So for example, just for the heck of it, the reason I'm bringing this one up is this little section in here. This is that custom code I was telling you about. So I actually went in and put some custom code in to create, again, see if I closed it here. This is how I created these, as I went in and created that custom code. All right. So, but the base theme is up here. So again, there's a lot of files there that you can edit. You also have a language editor. All right. So those are the big highlights, and of course you can also edit your own personal profile. So you can see here I've got a lot of things here, and this is also where you would ban a user. All right, you can also enable, you can either disable or enable. In other words, you can prevent people from having a splash page if you wanted to. All right, so that's not a choice that I made. So again, this actual, let me bring this over here for you. All right, let me find it. I'm sorry, I've lost it here. All right, so actually, let's do this the fun way. All right, let's go back and look at my URLs and see if I even put it in here. Actually, I didn't. So let's do it. We're going to create a shortcut, and this is going to be for the Premium URL Shortener. So I'm actually putting this in here right now. This is the actual product. All right, so we're going to do this. It's currently hosted on Code Canyon. So here's the shortened. So we're going to copy it. We'll come over here. We'll paste it in so we can have a peek. All right, so this is the actual, and I'm already logged in here. So you can see it's still $16. All right, they've got a live preview, but of course that's what I was doing anyway. Screenshots. KBRMedia, this guy is fantastic. Excellent, excellent customer service. All right, so they do have the extended license here. So let's have a look real quick. So this gives you an idea of the difference between the two. The big difference is being able to actually roll their software into your software to sell it. But for most people, that regular license there, again, it's really hard to beat that $16, and that gives you permanent updates too. I've never had him say no updates. Look at his rating here, fantastic rating. While this is an affiliate product itself, once you're actually signed up, if you buy a product, anybody's product on here, you're automatically really an affiliate anyway. You just have to go in there and set it up. So if you've enjoyed the video and you got some value out of this, absolutely, please share it, comment especially. The link to purchase this will be below. I certainly encourage you to use my link. Again, you only get this is not a reoccurring fee, so you're just going to get a little bit of money anyway. But this is, like I said, fantastic tool for really anyone who's building a business online and needs to be able to post affiliate links or really just about anything, and you want to rebrand it to your own domain name. This is absolutely fantastic program to use. So I know the video ended up being a little bit longer than we thought it would be, but again, I hope you got some value out of it. Go out there, make tons of money today, and we'll see you in the next video.